Happy holidays, Unranked crew, Unranked
ho,
listeners,
ho.
Unranked faithful. We got Christian Humes here. Alex,
Don't talk about your mom like that.
Tuna Marinello, Tom Caswell. Oh, you're just jumping right into it. Tuna looks frazzled. Alex said it just before the show started.
I didn't say it just before the show started. Tom
I
did.
think this is holiday tuna. We got holiday tuna checking in right now.
Yeah, how is this? These pre. Now this is a real Christmas. Obviously, last year with Avery, you had fake Christmas because she had dumb baby brain, but now she's significantly smarter. What's the difference? Maybe this is for off topic. Maybe we can do the Pokemon and we'll get into how Christmas prep has been.
Yeah, she's. I mean, a kid now. She's not like a baby anymore. She is running around. Is very hard to watch. She's very curious. So
There's a quality,
but it's fun. Having a good time.
Oh, that's good.
You guys want to just start with the Pokemon?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's get into it. The 355th Pokemon. Nice little number right there. This week, Alex, we have a Pokemon, and I want you to tell me what you think it is. Its name is Duskull. Duskull, but as one word.
Duskull. Okay.
Duskull.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
That I actually know this Pokemon.
Okay.
Or it's ringing bells for me. How about that? It's ringing some bells for me.
Jingle bells?
Yeah. So it's ringing some bells.
I was wondering what you were doing for the audio listeners. Alex was like very clearly looking at the computer, and I'm like, I don't see anything in the window changing, so I don't believe he's looking the Pokemon up to pretend as if he knows what it is. No, he made his background the Millennium Falcon.
Right. Going through
hyperspace. Yeah, right. In the cockpit.
Yeah. No, so it is a gray buddy with purple eyes, and it has like a skull face, kind of.
A gray bunny
body.
Gotcha. Sorry, I thought you
body,
said
and
bunny.
it's kind of like roundish, but like not exactly.
You're spot on. You're spot on.
Okay, it is the Pokemon I'm thinking of.
Okay,
because I think it was in Arceus.
Yes, it was. It was.
So because of that, any Pokemon that was in Arceus, I'm likely
Wow, look at that. That's maybe
going to remember.
It would be wild if we got to like Gen 6 or whatever, and he's like, oh yeah, fave Pokemon from Arceus.
I knew it was in Arceus partially because right at the top of the page, it points out that the evolution is different. Like the manner of getting to the evolution is different if you're playing it in Arceus. In Arceus, because in Arceus, they don't have the trading, so it's not while it's holding a Reaper Cloth. So you just have to expose it to the Reaper Cloth for it to evolve, which we'll see next week. Anyone want to take a stab at what the name may be?
I don't know. I don't know if I have the mental capacity to figure that out.
Yeah, your mental acumen might not be high enough to determine what Duskull
could be a combo of dust
and
scroll.
There you go.
Ullman. Tracy Ullman.
Dust and Scroll from Marvel. Marvel Scrolls.
Dust and Scrolls.
Marvel Scrolls.
Yeah. The green aliens.
Yeah, I mean, Duskull. It's in the name. It's on the tin.
It's a ghost type, not a dark type, just a straight ghost type. You guys want to know a thing or two about Duskull?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, I'll tell you a thing or two about Duskull. We've got some Pokedex entries here. All right, let's see. Let's go with Ruby. Duskull can pass through any wall, no matter how thick it may be. Once this Pokemon chooses a target, it will doggedly pursue the intended victim until the break of dawn. Okay, so you just got to make it to daytime. I like that. God, they got to get this shit in the games. There's some of it
now.
There's some, but imagine if like you couldn't get this Pokemon during the day, which there are versions of.
Mm-hmm.
But also was just like chasing you and tormenting you in the evening at night. So it's almost as if like you either couldn't escape it or you couldn't find it, depending on where you are in the game. I would like to see it chase you around. That would be fucking cool.
The more they add, hopefully they just add more and more like actual Pokemon behaviors. Because when I see that in the games now, I'm like that gives so much life to it where the game falters in other aspects there. Like, sure, the environment looks bad, but like Sudowoodo is pretending to be a tree. Like, he's actually doing the thing that he's famous for. And I'm like, hell yeah. So, yeah, would love that.
There's, I was on TikTok and I came across like a fake Pokemon fact about the new game.
Okay.
Yeah, people like to, they'll be like, oh, you can go do this in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but it's not real. This is the kind of shit that the game needs. The guy was like, oh, so if you have a Magikarp and you want to get it to evolve, but you don't want to go through the levels, what you do is you bring it to the waterfall here, to the tallest waterfall in the game, and you put it in Let's Go mode, which is where the Pokemon will follow you around, Alex.
Okay.
And then climb to the top of the mountain, and it'll go up the waterfall. And if you go slow enough to bring your Magikarp up the waterfall, it'll evolve into a Gyarados. And they cut it and then took out their Gyarados at the top, so it looks like you have the Gyarados. It doesn't work, but the folklore, like part of the original design for Magikarp and why it evolves into Gyarados, is based on folklore about like this fish that swam up the waterfall and became like a dragon. So how cool would that be if you could do that? I saw that video. It's like, you motherfucker. I hate that you just made this fake clip, because that would be pretty incredible.
a fan favorite Pokemon that we have now, Gimmighoul, has a little bit of that where it's like you have to find the coins, and if you find, what is it, like 1,000 coins, like
999 coins, yeah, I believe, yeah,
like that's fun.
So I'll tell you what, when I first heard about this, I was like, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to get someone to trade me a Gimmighoul. I'll trade him back for the Pokedex entry. And then it became very clear that if you fight and beat a Gimmighoul, the chest, as opposed to just finding the little guy, you get like, the lowest I ever got was like maybe like 30 or 40 Gimmighoul coins at a time.
Yeah.
I got upwards of 60 at times.
Yeah.
So this isn't like the Korok seeds where there's 999 around and you gotta find them all.
Right.
You get batches of them,
that's
not that bad.
If you find and beat the chests, but there are versions where it's a tiny guy outside of the chest and you only get like between 1 and 3, which is why I was like, fuck, I'm not doing this. However, they're basically, it turns out, spawn in like only 3 places, like points of interest, ruins, and watchtowers, which the towers, Alex, are kind of like towers in Zelda and stuff. It doesn't actually open up more of the map.
It doesn't do anything, which annoys me. It's just there's a Gimmighoul. There's usually like one.
Well, no, a lot of the towers, if you go up them, become fast travel points.
Didn't realize that was happening.
Yeah. So they'll become fast travel points. So it's worth it to climb them for that alone.
For the coin as well, if you want to.
Yeah, and for the coin.
Gimmighoul.
But they'll reset their respawns every day. So the next day, if you found a bunch, you could go back to those places and there might be a Gimmighoul there again. So it actually didn't take me too long to get Goldengo, which is the evolution where it looks like that commercial of the cinnamon
inflatable.
Yeah, he looks like a weird snowboarder. It's the weirdest fucking Pokemon. I kind of love that it's Pokemon 1000 in the Pokedex though. It's pretty funny that they didn't sit around and say, let's make a really fucking badass, like, let's do like an Arceus level Pokemon for Pokemon. They were like, yo, let's put this fucking gold snowboarder level Pokemon 1000. Turns out he's actually on my current team. He is very, very good for the raids because of his typing and his moveset. So I've actually been using Goldengo, which I cannot believe, because when I saw that monstrosity, I thought right to the box he goes. Turns out not the case. So, yeah.
And that's Duskull.
Yeah, that's Duskull. Well, we kind of moved off of him pretty quick. This is a cool Pokemon. It much cooler, I would say, in the Pokemon Adventures. All of the Ghost type and Dark type Pokemon are cooler in the mangas, but maybe we'll start getting that kind of shit in the anime. Now that the anime is retooling, which I guess we'll talk about in the news. What's up, Tuna? Regale us.
Nothing. 100%ed God of War that night. After we talked, I stayed up. I was like, I have to beat this. I'm not going to bed until I do. So that happened. And then Tom gave me a little pitch on The Witcher
Pitcher.
and told me the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Seems cool. Am I going to try it? Yes. Am I going to be as into it as I was God of War? I don't know. I feel like I'm going through God of War withdrawal. I really, really love that game. And I think what was interesting, and I was thinking about this a lot more, was during the post show, Tom asked me, what did I like better, God of War 2018 or God of War Now? And I said I didn't really think there was that much of a difference. I consider God of War Ragnarok to just be a continuation of 2018, and I would say it almost feels like it's one big game on its own. Like there is no better than 2018, 2018 better than Ragnarok. So yeah, loved it. I just wish there were more. I just wish there was more. Other than that, though, starting a vacation today. Will not be going back to work until after the new year. And been trying to make pizza.
Okay, tell me about it.
Been making my own dough. Been experimenting with different flours for the past couple days. So I use 00 flour, all-purpose, bread flour. Different salt content. Then I tried adding a little garlic powder one time just to see how it feels. Cooking times, different cheese types like mozzarella fresh, mozzarella dry, mozzarella. You know what brought this on? So my mom makes pizza every Christmas Eve, and I love it. I think it's great, right? And I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll
do it.
Carry the torch, right? I'll do it because my cousin, my one cousin, is traveling the world, not doing shit. So I don't know about useless, but in the food realm, useless. So, I went to this place called Uncle Giuseppe's for pizza dough because usually my mom has someone make it for her, or she gets it from a pizza place.
Right.
So we got it from Uncle Giuseppe's. We made it. I was like, this is horrible. So I start Googling, how do I make it myself? So after Googling around, finding different recipes, finally found one that I was like, okay, this is easy. Right.
How long is the proofing on this?
So the proofing on this bad boy is you could go an hour and it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Or you could do 24 hours and it will be very good.
It almost makes me wonder like how similar the one our standard dough is now, because we have the same. We have it's very similar, but we have two recipes and the hour one came from the same place, our 24-hour one. So
so maybe. So I have yet to prove it for overnight. I've been doing just an hour or two because I literally just started doing this week. It's like, just fuck it. I've been making pizza like every day. So I think I'm going to try the 24-hour bit now that I'm off and I don't have to worry about work or anything else except a kid. Tonight's was the best. I've settled on bread flour being my favorite.
Yeah, it definitely is.
The 00 is good. It's good. It's just I'm not into pizza that thin. I like a little bite.
I want some crispiness.
So the bread flour is what I've settled on. I'm going to prove it overnight, and I don't coat the pan in corn.
Okay, so this is what I was wondering: is you're using a sheet pan?
I'm using a sheet pan.
Okay.
We were going to I was going to switch to a pizza stone.
Yes.
But I was like, I was going to go buy one tonight, actually. And then I was just too lazy. I was like, oh, fuck it. The kid needed a bath anyway. So I was like, oh, forget this. I'm not going out and buying a pizza stone right now. So
this week's episode name, Tuna doesn't buy a pizza stone.
Yeah.
It gives baby bath.
The pan is coated in olive oil, not cornmeal.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of the cornmeal.
Sure. We aren't big fans of the cornmeal. We use a mixture of the cornmeal and the flour. just enough so that the texture of the cornmeal kind of keeps the flour above it.
Mhm.
But we have an actual pizza oven, so also we can't do oil. Like you can't.
Right, you can't do the oil.
You can't do that.
I get
it would,
right. So the pan with the oil works. It slides right off. The crust was a nice golden brown. It was
That's good.
Gorgeous. The cheese that I've settled on is right in between. It is not the block of mozzarella that is dry. Yeah. And it is not the fresh mozzarella, which, while tasty, was a little
wet.
Yeah, well, a high moisture mozzarella, it's a very different kind of pizza that you're going to get.
Right. So we tried. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm trying. I've made a bunch of pizzas. We've been trying a bunch of different things.
We like to do a little like pecorino. You know, I mean, it depends obviously on the pizza we do, but I do like to spread. Yep. Sometimes if we do it more margarita style, where it's just pockets of cheese, I'll do like pockets of pecorino, ricotta, and mozzarella.
Sure.
That's really good. Here's what I would tell you:
replicate New York style pizza as best as I could, and this was the best I think I was going to get without having a pizza oven that can get over 500 degrees.
Yeah.
So this was the closest I was going to get, and it was fucking close. The only thing I have my own sauce that I make on the reg. I was just trying jarred sauces because I didn't care. I just wanted I wanted the dough to be good.
Of course.
So now the next step is perfecting the old pizza sauce, because I've already perfected marinara sauce for the meatballs. I
love that.
The meatballs in this house are fucking incredible over here. I make about
we need to come
over.
As good or better than your mom's?
Oh, better, but I can't tell her.
Sure. Your mom's are good when I've had them.
Yeah, they're good. But mine are okay.
Marie knows her way around some sauce.
I use less breadcrumb, more cheese.
Yep.
My garlic is a lot thinner. Anyway, so I don't make a lot of things, right? But the things I do make in this house are top notch. There's no like mediocre thing that I make. I make like 5 good things, great things. That's it. It's as far as we go. And that's it. That's what's been going on here.
Very nice.
So,
question.
Yes.
Your crust right now on the bottom, it's cooking well. Your dough is cooked through. What about your crust on the top? You know, the top crust bit above the pizza line.
We ended up I keep saying we. It ended up getting there. I don't know if you can see this.
If you've got a good dough like cooking ratio right now, like if you figured out the dough to work in your oven with a pan, I wouldn't even tell you necessarily to waste the money on the stone.
Oh, well,
because if you're already getting the crisp. All right,
look, can you see this?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's
I see it. Yeah, it's a little white. Yeah. I see it. That's good.
Oh, that's a beautiful.
Yeah, that's good.
That's beautiful.
That's good crust.
Really good. No, but you see the top crust. It's whitewashed. The top crust is about. It's not as brown as the bottom.
Right.
Yep.
Therein lies the
sweet spot.
Therein lies the rub.
So we went through what you're doing right now at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yep.
Beginning of the pandemic, we made pizza, the fucking nonstop, left and right. Which is why then that summer I got Therese, the Breville Pizzolio. It's like a very expensive pizza oven because it's electric.
Like the Uni?
Well, no. So the Uni is outdoor and it's fire. You should get the Uni because you have an outdoor space where you can actually do like, if you think like, oh, it's going to be a hassle to start the fire all the time and you're just not going to use it, then don't get the Breville indoor. The indoor electric one, like, 750 degrees.
Am I going to really want to go outside in the dead of winter?
Yeah. So
fire up the pizza oven? I don't think so.
The Breville isn't really much more expensive. It's like the same price as the more expensive Uni, but it gets up 750 degrees. So I can pump out like 13-inch pizzas every 2.5 minutes. It's just this is so
funny. I came on the podcast tonight being like, so I beat God of War. I haven't really done anything. I don't think I'm going to be talking about anything.
Yeah, here we are.
Here we are fucking talking pizza shop.
I mean, it's holiday time.
Before
stone,
we continue, Spiffy Fox in the chat. It says happy holidays.
So what do you got?
Happy holidays.
Before we got more into the pizza, more into the dough.
Oh, Spiffs. Happy hol.
I mean, I was going to have a whole other thing to talk about that is so weirdly similar to this that I'm just not going to get into it deeply. I'll give it a week or two, and then I'll get to that in a second. But first, I have a pizza comment. I got a pizza comment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So we did the upgrade to the stone. One thing I learned with the stone is it creates a little bit of hassle for you because the stone doesn't actually do what you want it to do unless you get it up to the same to temperature.
No, I know. I have to put it in the oven. I know.
Yeah, 10 minutes for every 100 degrees. So like if you're cooking at 450 or 500 degrees, you got to put that stone in for 50. So the preheat, and then once it's at temperature, 10 minutes per 100 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's like your house is going to get fucking warm.
Well, you know what? Yeah, what's hilarious is my family members were, because I was talking about possibly making pizza over the summer. Sure. I just threw it out there because I was like, oh, this uni thing seems to, people like it, blah, blah. And then my mom was like, oh, for Christmas. I'm like, you know what? No. You know what? No, don't do it because I'm not going to get that into it.
Yep.
I'm not going to get that into it. Please don't buy that for me. It's going to be such a waste. I'm never going to make a pizza. Here I am the week before fucking Christmas cranking out pizzas like it's, Ray's, original Ray's.
She might.
It's great.
Anyway.
It's so much fun. It's such a fun thing to make. Even the bad pizzas, unless you really fuck it up, they're still good. It's still pizza.
Good. Oh, here's what I would say.
Like your failure still tastes good.
I've tasted a bunch of jar. I've tasted a bunch of jar sauces now because really, like I said, this is really just an exercise in making the dough, more so than anything else. Plus, Brittany was also using the kitchen to actually make our daughter dinner and us dinner, so I couldn't really. Anyway, Mazzetta pizza sauce, horrible, absolutely disgusting. Rayo's. Pretty good.
Oh, Rouse are that's what we use. If we don't, that's what I always said. It's probably Rayo's. Therese said it, so
Rouse.
It's not going to get the.
I don't know.
No, it's probably Rayo's. That's what we use. Their vodka actually is their vodka, which is more like a blush because I doubt it actually has vodka in it. It's very light on the cream. It's not a big departure from the marinara, which is actually why I prefer that. Because it's just it's a little bit creamier. It has like a little bit more. I like it a lot. This is fun. I'm glad that you send me your recipe. I want to know what you're using.
What's the teaser for what you wanted to talk about?
Well, okay. So one thing, and I mentioned this last week, was like, all right, I cut way back on the cannabis over the last month and a half because I'm trying to get back in shape, trying to lose weight, and cannot do that because the majority of the weight came from the beginning of the pandemic was Pizza City, Bread City, Pizza City. That oven was going 24/7 basically. Yep. But also like it really just comes down to my munchies. If I smoke, if there's food that I can eat, it will be eaten. Like I will, even if there's no snacks, I will I will make a cheese plate. I will start taking shit out of the fridge. Even if I was full before I ate, and it doesn't matter what kind of weed I smoke, I get the craziest munchies. So it's like, I got to stop. I got to cut back. But here's the thing. With my ADD, I need to fiddle. I need something I can fiddle with and I can fuck with. And with my cannabis, just like with the pizza, I got I went whole hog. I got all the accoutrements. I got all the best grinders for the cannabis. So it's I need something to replace that. And something Teresa and I have been talking about for a while. And we decided this year for Christmas to not get each other anything.
Okay.
And instead, we're buying and building a coffee espresso bar in our house. So I've spent the last 3 weeks.
What does this have to do with cannabis?
Because this is going to replace my I'm going to fiddle around with cannabis and learn all the different things and get all the different tools.
So now you're going to learn coffee.
Because by the time I hit this, because now I'm also a little bored with the cannabis because I'm I have the best bong. I have the best pipe. I have all the best toys. I've experienced it all. I get it. I got it. I'm done with it now. I need something new to fuck with. That's how my obsessive brain works. I'm tired of it. I need something new to do. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Gonna get very into making espresso.
There we go.
Deep into espresso. I've spent the last few weeks reading and learning all about it. I have a little bit of familiarity with it from the time I worked at Starbucks for about a year and a half when I was younger.
Wait, what?
Yeah, when I worked at the grocery store.
I don't remember you working at Starbucks.
It was when I was in high school.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, it was maybe a year and a half or so. It was basically my senior year, and then a few months into summer, and when school started, I couldn't do it because they wouldn't do anything with my school schedule, so I'd stop. But anyway, it was inside a Safeway. It was one of those Starbucks inside of a grocery store.
Oh, we proudly serve.
Yeah. So, but no, it was a mini, Starbucks.
Oh, okay.
I had to make all the drinks and all that, but it was only 2 of us. It was a nightmare to be honest. Yeah. But I really enjoyed doing it, so I was okay. So I got into it. I've been reading about it, learning about it. There's a lot to learn. It's very much like pizza, how like you got to perfect everything. Like you got to get all the things right. There's a lot of the different little tools you can get.
So when you say
further with the espresso.
Sorry to interrupt, but when you say that you and Therese are going to build a coffee bar, I mean, are you like, isn't it just you buy the Mac Daddy espresso maker? And
to an extent, because so here's the thing that I learned. There is a lot that goes into the espresso machines and like a lot of different options between them. And if you were like, just give me the best,
right,
you're going to get 100 different answers, especially like depending on your budget. And essentially there's like 3 tiers. There's like the entry level, the prosumer level, and then there's the like, you know, barista level, like where you're like at a store. You wouldn't get those. You actually wouldn't really buy those at home unless like you really need it. Those are the $5,000-$6,000 machines.
Right.
We're looking more in the mid range.
I have the very simple Nespresso, and it
does
does
that
make
use
a
pods?
decent. Yeah, the pod. It makes a decent espresso. It's not. It's not like mind blowing, but it is good in a pinch. If you're like, I really want one.
Even a decent espresso, like an okay espresso, is still good.
No, of course, but I will tell you so I had the option to buy the more like, but I like the more advanced one.
Sure,
but I was not this into it as you clearly are.
Oh, I'm very.
Again, I was saying to myself, like, am I really going to do all this? Plus, like, they have like a container for the milk, and I was like, that'll sit there.
So so that's one of those entry level ones. The entry level ones go up to about $1,000, and a lot of the things that you can get on those machines will not really make better coffee or espresso than the $300 machines. Basically, if you're not going to spend more than like $300 to $500, like don't if you're not going to spend like more than like $1,200 to $1,500, don't spend more than $300 to $500, because everything in between are things that aren't necessarily going to enhance the espresso or allow you to make it better. The majority of them are like convenience, but they actually do the jobs worse. Because as important as the actual espresso machine is that you put the fucking handle in and, you know, pours the water through, makes the espresso, the grinding of your beans, it turns out, is about like 50% of the like job. Like having a like very good grinder, which can be expensive, is almost as important as the machine that you're using. So like that's like one of the things I learned, because getting like, especially if you're using a blonde or a medium roast, like a light roast, because dark roast espresso is like, what are you even fucking wasting your time for? You get the least amount of caffeine out of a dark roast. So don't do that. It has the worst taste. But it's all about like, there's fun flow chart that someone made. Everyone's like calls it the default, and it's basically like, how much time does it take from the beginning of you turn the water on? How long does it take for the water to start coming out? And then how long does it like for the shot to be full, the espresso shot to be complete? And if it's too long, then you're grinding too coarse, like too fine. You have to grind coarser. If it's like, and you have to like perfect it. And if you can't like dial all of these things in and like dial in the pressure of like the water and all these other things, you're not able to kind of like fine tune it. And I'm like, oh, I'm very into the idea of like, you know, getting the thing where you like push down on the espresso. So I'm very much, we've basically been picking all the stuff, but we have a part of our kitchen that extends out and the cabinets end before it. I really think the builders just kind of like are stupid with design. It doesn't actually make any sense. And we've talked about putting shelves there. So what I'm actually gonna do is put shelves up and like and I'm gonna install a cabinet underneath that end part of so I'm gonna build a little espresso bar. So we're getting all the right tools. I'm gonna actually like build some stuff, install it, and it's basically been like a multi-week process. I'm very excited, but started doing the math on how much money we spend on like lattes going out and shit. It's probably going to save us money. It's going to be very expensive up front, but it's going to save us money.
If you recall, I used to go to Dunkin' every day. I don't go to Dunkin' at all anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like today, like a couple times a week, we'll both go walk and get a latte at least. And that doesn't count the weekend. So it's like, oh, we're spending like probably like $50 a week on fucking espresso.
Yeah.
Like
Tom, any new hobbies? Anything?
No, video games still.
All right, let's talk about video games.
I finished painting my Tau Empire Warhammer 40K like combat patrol unit.
Are you streaming these? Or are you not streaming?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No, I don't, because when I've done them, they haven't
they don't turn out well.
No one shows up. No one's in the
okay,
chat.
sure, fair enough.
I'm also like in the source with it so much that like
I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
It's a whole setup too, because you got to.
Warhammer is a tabletop game, Alex, where there's a lot of miniature figures, and it's like, where you'd like the classic, like, oh, look at this nerd, he's got like, the fucking magnifying glass and the tiny brush, and he's painting them. That's what
I do own, actually. I bought my own magnifying glass, and I think I got one as a gift. I hate using it. I never use it. I freehand it. Because I find it easier to have the mini like up here and like painting like this versus like having it at a distance, because the brush control is like so much easier behind the magnifying glass. It makes it.
Yeah. Is painting part of it? Like that's part of the joy?
Yeah, so the way that the minifigs come, and honestly, like, I don't even know how to play Warhammer 40k. It's the painting that.
Wait, what?
I've never played it before. I mean, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to a tournament or something in January.
I was going to make fun of you and be like, "Oh, like, why can't you just buy them pre-painted? Like, why? Like, what's the point of painting them?" And then I thought to myself, you put together Lego things that like you could easily just buy
the complete
what it is, right? Yeah, idiot.
Anyway, yeah, no, painting for me is the has been the source, but I am going to a thing in January that's in Hoboken. It's like a big Warhammer 40k day at this thing, and gonna learn how to play and all this, and then I have a friend coming over who's super into it over the holidays. We're gonna play as well and figure all that out. But yeah, I paint those and enjoy it quite a bit. And just finished the combat patrol. There was just one mech that I had that I needed to get done, and it just was so daunting because it takes so long. I was like, I'm just gonna fucking do this over the weekend.
So Spiffy, quickly interrupt the podcast.
Spiffy in the chat. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Can Spiffy verify that he hears all of us? Because I noticed I never hit record on my end. I'm just gonna do that now.
Recording in progress.
Spiffy has not mentioned anything. We should be good. The levels in the audio mixer look good for both of us. And he did say in chat, "I'm learning so much about pizza and espresso tonight." So I think that he is he's on it. He's got the goods. This weekend, me and Chris saw a little, not together. We didn't see it. We didn't go to the theater together.
Ooh, I didn't go. We've had to change our tickets twice. So I'm probably not going to be seeing the Blue Man Group for a minute. But I do want to know what you think. And I'm not really worried about spoilers, but try to avoid them.
It's not, there's no need to spoil anything. It is, Yep, Spiffy says can hear you all loud and clear. Great. Thank you, Spiff. I was visually delighted. It is, you can't have it. The visuals cannot be overhyped enough. Go see this in the best theater you can. I'll tell you this for everyone listening: the best way to see it is Dolby. It's the only format that does 4K, high frame rate, and 3D.
Really?
If you see it in IMAX, you're only getting. You can either do 3D and high frame rate, but it's in 2K, or you can do 4K and 3D, but there's no high frame rate. It's only in 24 frames.
Was anything filmed in IMAX though that you're missing on Dolby?
So Dolby has the biggest frame.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm just going to go watch the Dolby ones then. I've been looking for the IMAX ones. I should have just been looking for the Dolby one.
Dolby is the way to go.
Great.
All right. So visually,
maybe I'll see it tomorrow.
Were you captivated for 3 hours?
Thoroughly entertained the whole way. I think that also I didn't know what the story of this movie was going to be, and the trailers have left out so much that within the first 10 minutes, I'll tell you this, I cried in the first 5 minutes of the film. What?
I don't know if I trust that though, because I feel like.
Didn't you just cry during a movie?
Who, me?
Yeah.
That's possible.
Oh, it was Hey Arnold. You just said you cried during the Hey Arnold Christmas special.
Well, that was different.
Funny.
Was a heart. That was.
But how many times do you think?
Masterpiece.
How many times do you think you've seen that?
20.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not going to say you're going to cry, but the beginning is very emotionally impactful. It sets up some really important stakes, and I think that that's what this movie has. That like, even when it had some very cringe-worthy dialogue, like some very like. Oh my god!
Really?
Like this script was clearly written 10 years ago. Yeah, there's literally one line where a character says, "You can't put babies in cryosleep, dipshit." And
What is this,
and
Death Stranding?
and this is a little this isn't spoilers because it literally is revealed within the first like opening dialogue of the narration of the movie. The villain from the first one, he had a kid, right? The human that you see in all the trailers is like his kid that's been left over, and the kid like is friends with the Na'vi kids and like hangs out in the jungle. And the Na'vi kids are like talking about like their dad's like adventures, like he's the savior, you know, Jake Sully, he's the savior of Pandora or whatever, and they're like praising him. And Spider, which is the name of the human child, goes, "Yeah, you know, sometimes it's not good to know who your dad is." And that's how they reveal that what's his name? Stephen Lang was his dad. So there's some bad dialogue, but it only like and there's a character later on that just has like the funniest, hammiest dialogue. All the stuff with the humans is so much hammier than the first one, but it works. It gives itself like a lot of personality. It's fun, so that it doesn't, even when like there's no action, it's just like a bunch of humans talking. Like there's still a lot of fun to be had there. And yeah, I think emotionally, like it's a really strong film. I think it's from a storytelling perspective, emotionally stronger than the first film. So yeah, I loved it. I was not
film of the year. Film of the year for you?
I mean, not in like not from like a screenwriting perspective. No, I wouldn't say that. Definitely from, this is the best cinematic blockbuster since Mad Max.
You never saw Top Gun?
I didn't see Maverick. I will.
You didn't see Top Gun. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this, but Top Gun.
No, I have not seen Maverick. From what everyone has said, yes, Maverick is on that level as well.
And I'm saying that as someone, by the way, who never saw the original Top Gun.
No,
I've never seen Mad Max. I've never seen that movie.
Fury Road.
That was
you
a cool
didn't see Fury
movie.
Road?
Yeah, it's a cool fucking movie, too.
Oh, you got
two movies. You got to go see both of those. You can
Maverick, Mad Max, Way of Water.
Good movies.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I did. I'm sure that would be up there as well.
Isn't Mad Max just driving around on cars in the desert?
The action's pretty amazing. The action's pretty amazing.
The whole
dislike some of the visual stuff. You're gonna really dislike some of the gross visual stuff. I can tell you right now. I'd say, like, Alex, you're gonna need to push through the first 20 minutes. You're gonna be like, this is just kind of gross. You're not gonna like how like both wet and dry everything is. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a little too much.
That's such a good way to put it. Everything in Mad Max is simultaneously so wet but yet so dry.
Yes,
that's so funny.
God, that movie was incredible though. That was a great fucking movie.
Great movie.
I wouldn't necessarily say Maverick's better than it, but I also wouldn't say it's worse. Both of those movies, I think, are like just phenomenal.
You're getting a spectacle on that. You're getting a spectacle on that level, and then also like from a technology standpoint, especially in the high frame rate. I'm really happy because I wanted to watch it in the high frame rate mode because, you know, that's how it was intended. All this stuff, and it would literally be something that I hadn't seen other than like Hobbit or whatever. And God knows that those movies are terrible. But the way in which they implemented it, I was stunned how like engrossed I was, and never felt like, because it switches, right? Like some scenes are 24 frames per second. I don't know how they picked them, because there is a scene with like just humans, and I'm like, why are we in the high frame rate?
Is it disorienting for anyone?
I didn't feel disoriented. Okay. No one I was with felt disoriented. I know some people have said that. A friend of mine said like had to like leave after like 30 minutes and not, but no one I was with was. And yeah, I totally go.
This feels like a movie that, like, I know there are people that are saying like, I'll just see it when it's streaming. I'm like, I feel like that is not the way you watch this. I think on a TV screen, it's going to look like a video game. I really think you need the scale of the theater to see this. I'm excited for it. Here's a question, gaming related. Are you more hyped now for the video game? Because when they showed the trailer for the fucking Avatar video game that's coming out that Ubisoft's making, because it's being built for next gen systems, like it visually looked fucking like, you know, like, okay, cool, this is what we bought these expensive consoles for. I'm actually like, I'm waiting for that game, but I'm not pumped for it. So I'm hoping to be excited for it after seeing this movie.
100%. I've been Avatar pilled. I am so excited for the next
blue
3
pilled.
films. Blue pilled, yeah. I'm so excited for the next 3 films. I'm excited for the game. And you know, the other thing that makes me excited about the game is that Ubisoft is also making an open world Star Wars game. And and the whole the story is that Disney has been so impressed with that Avatar game that they were like, we want you to make a open world Star Wars. So like that,
they were also like, hey, EA, our decade deal is done. You guys did not deliver.
No, they did not. Although, you know, Survivor, and in fact, when
I'm very excited for Survivor.
We do have some Survivor news when we get to it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I'm stoked for. I am stoked for more Avatar, and I'm excited to hear what you guys think. And after, actually, I'm going to be buying tickets for my next screening. All with people. Well, actually, it'd be a mix of people who have seen it and who have not seen it. Yeah. So, Tuna, you got to make your way to a theater.
I mean, you'll have time. It'll be in theaters for a minute.
Yeah, it'll be in theaters for a long time.
You'll have time.
Oh, literally, like
just go with Tom. Tom will see it a second time.
Oh yeah, do you want to see it? We'll figure it out. I'll text you because I still haven't bought tickets yet for the next screening.
Tom's got A-list, so he could get you like a cheap seat.
Discount. Yeah. No, you won't pay a convenience fee or anything. You'll just play the flat rate.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, the next film that'll probably like take over IMAX and Dolby will be Ant-Man in middle of the February. So this movie, you know, it didn't actually hit its like projections for opening weekend, but
well, they were kind of insane.
Well, 170 million is not, for a movie of that scale, is not out. I mean, Marvel movies pretty much easily make that nowadays. Like
it was like the second, so it had the second biggest week of the year by like $500,000. It was the second biggest opening of the year by $500,000. Sorry, yeah, Avatar. It's like right behind the number one opening of the year.
I think Doctor Strange had the best. I also think Black Panther made more than it in its opening.
Maybe domestically. I'm talking about worldwide.
Right, internationally, yes.
Because worldwide, guess what? That's where Avatar made its money. It wasn't the biggest domestic movie. Star Wars: The Force Awakens is still by a long shot.
Yeah.
By a long, not even Endgame or Infinity War came very close to Star Wars. Because Star Wars broke almost $1 billion domestically. Like,
which is
no one's close to that. That'll never happen again. Not, or at least not for a long time. Like you know, inflation needs to occur. But then as that continues to occur, movies will be seen less. So like we're hitting a knock-on effect where like the whole, oh well, the price of tickets back in the day isn't the same as now. Like now it's starting to actually probably make it harder to beat those records.
Yeah. Tri-Fate Saga who's also in chat, says, I bet it'll kill holiday weekend. It is.
Yeah, I think so.
The thing is like like
a bomb cyclone might mess with it, but yes,
they were saying in all of the box office reports that yes, it only made this much, but the amount, like the change in day, like was usually there's like a drop off from like Friday to Saturday screenings or Saturday to Sunday screenings. I think like there's usually a drop off. Like it made just as much money on Sunday as it did Saturday, and if you look at like through the next couple of weeks, like theaters are packed for it, and I think that it will have. That was the thing with the original Avatar, the legs on it. It had a Maverick like thing where it was like still in theaters months after. I don't know if we'll necessarily see that with this.
Well, but it crushed in China, but also China's having issues right now with COVID too, which is also hurting it.
Right.
Here's the thing though with this is the projections that people were talking about that even you brought up were apparently like untrue. The whole like it needs to break like $2 billion or $2.5 billion. Supposedly the whole
opening weekend projections. It did.
No, I know. I'm talking about. I'm not talking about opening weekend.
Right.
Previously, you did bring up the $2.5 billion or $2 billion number on another episode about like what it needs to be profitable. Apparently, that's not true. That's what it would needs to do for the collection of avatars like 2, 3, and 4. Like that's like what they the like line item is. Supposedly, because Avatar 2, like a lot of the tech was built for it, like it's considered like a big success if it does like 1.5 billion. Is apparently what the new numbers, which it sound more real, which I think it will. Yeah. And by the way, if it even breaks $1 billion, which so few movies have done, especially since the pandemic, still going to be a very successful. Like Disney's going to be like, well, there's only as successful as some of our most successful movies ever. Guess we got to kill it. Like, no, that's not how that's going to work. If anything, like, so we'll see. I haven't seen it though, so I'm hoping.
And that is the thing is like they did build the tech for. Like they built the tech, like
right. That's what took so long was they were building all this technology.
They didn't source it. It was like literally like we have built equipment that has never existed, and that's how we've gotten some of this stuff. So yeah, a lot of the upfront. What are they going to do? Like not use that to make more Avatar films? Like the upfront cost and like in time investment and all of that is, much smaller now compared to. Before.
So I got a question for you. So I'm going to be traveling. Normally when we record the podcast, I'll be traveling, which is part of why we're recording early. Going home. First time I've been home for the holidays since the 2016 election. Those two things.
Wow.
Are not necessarily unrelated.
Sure.
Because there were some
that
years,
was a shit show.
For instance, that year where I was like, there's a couple people there that like, if I go there, I'm just gonna be fighting with people, and I know myself, so I'm just not gonna go. Yeah. And then of course, pandemic. So this year I'm going. Those same people did not revote for Trump, so and they are very quiet and shameful these days. So I'm looking, not worried about that this year. So I'm actually looking forward to go home. What do I play? I'm actually a little bummed that I completed Pokemon now. So because I have the Steam Deck, and there's some indies that I kind of want to play, but
there's a lot of great indies.
I don't know what my battery life's going to be, and my new Switch got me through the full fucking trip. That new battery life on that new Switch with the OLED, I got through the entire LA to New York flight, like a full 6 hours right through it. So I'm kind of wondering, do I bring the Switch? Do I bring the Steam Deck? I know this is a very first world problem to be. It feels silly to bring both is sort of where I'm at. I feel like an idiot carrying two handheld consoles that are both like, that's it. Like it feels like a weird thing to be doing, but I don't really know if I take the Switch. I've really only got right now, like Mario Rabbids. Like I feel like I'm going to have to hit up that indie store, but a lot of the indies that are there aren't the ones that I'm hoping to play, or they're like free on Game Pass, so I don't know. I don't know what I should be doing with this. I'm not jumping back into Xenoblade. That's done.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel those vibes. I mean, look, the thing that I've been playing on my Steam Deck is Witcher. But you are.
How long is The Witcher?
Long, I think. Okay. Let's see how long to beat.
Didn't they put out like that one-off? Wasn't there like a DLC that you could play like on its own?
They released 2 things of DLC, but you do have to be a certain level.
I see.
So you do have to. Yeah, I think that if you're 100%ing this is a 100+ hour game. Let's see. Witcher 3, how long to beat? Yeah, main story, 51 hours.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'd be open to like 20 hours because I could get through more than half of the game. Because the thing I try to think about when
play
flights are
Cyberpunk. It's about that length.
Is it really fun? Is it like actually a fun game?
The Witcher is substantially better in every regard. Although I would say that like Cyberpunk is a competent first, like a pretty gameplay wise. It's a stronger, but like the world and the characters and all that are not.
Because there's games I want to play, but they're not necessarily the games that
I think GameSpot just put out a best. Let me see. Best Steam Deck games to play right now.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, not you, I guess, but
right. Yeah, I didn't put it together. Crisis Core is on. If you wanted to get into some Final Fantasy. Let us.
Because I was thinking about like Immortality or Pentiment, but I'm like, well, I don't. Are both of those on Steam, or are they just on Xbox? Like, I know one of them's Xbox Game Pass.
You can get Immortality on Steam for sure.
Yeah.
Pentiment might not be on Steam.
Might just be Game Pass.
Both of those are also Game Pass games, and so do you want to?
I know. So that's and all I kept thinking now, Tom, was I wish Xbox just had their own Switch deck
device,
kind of a device. But then I'm like, what? I'm walking around with 3 fucking Switch device. What are we doing here?
I mean, depending on how good your in-flight Wi-Fi is, you might be able to.
The Serial Cleaners game looked cool. That looks like a cool game.
Power Wash Simulator, is that what you're talking about?
I'm not gonna play. No, Serial Cleaners is like a isometric, so top-down kind of 3D view.
With
and you play as the cleanup crew for Hitmen, and you have to go in and sneak in and clean up the body and hide the evidence. I'm like, oh, that sounds like a fun
Chris,
time waster game to play on the plane, because I get a 6-hour block of just playing games, listening to podcasts or audiobooks, which I started a new audiobook on the last flight, and I'm just gonna probably finish it on this one. So
now, Chris, there's a game that is one of the most popular of the year that I don't think any of us have touched. Vampire Survivors.
Oh yeah, you know what? I've actually had a couple people asked me to play this several times, and I looked at a picture of it.
$2 on Steam as well, I think.
It's so ugly though.
It doesn't. It's the visuals really put me off, but people swear by this game.
But my concern, Tom, with that game, because I may have even bought it.
Wait, what? This game looks like?
I know. It's an indie game.
Okay.
People love it.
What does it look like? Castle Crashers?
No, not even Castle Crashers.
No, it
doesn't.
That
you're like
Crashers.
The one where you're like a plane in the arcade, and you're flying and you're just shooting things in front of you, top down.
Asteroids?
No, more advanced than that, but still.
Galaga? Gradius?
Tri-Fate Saga in the chat is saying, dude, Vampire Survivors is amazing.
How is it on the Steam Deck, though? Because that's my concern. Because with the smaller screen, I don't know how good that game is going to be readable. You know what? Fuck it. I'll buy it. It's going to be $2. I'll buy it. I'm bringing the Steam Deck now. I will buy it and play it. I will report back on Vampire Survivors.
Did you get around to playing Star Wars Lego?
Oh, you know what? I did. I played probably through a third of it on the Xbox. Something else came out.
That's
and then
just on this list as well.
Yeah.
Sable is on this list.
I never played Sable. I could do Sable.
I don't think many people did.
Was it not? Did it just kind of came and went?
I think it was came and went. I don't think it's a bad game, but and there are people who really love it.
There was another game I really wanted to play that I thought looked cool. I'm trying to see if I can look it up here. It was a roguelike, but it was a roguelike where you run a restaurant. Plate up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but it's a co-op. Is it not fun if it's single player?
Tri-Fate in the chat says, who needs visuals when the game slays, right, Pokemon?
I mean, that's true to an extent. Honestly, my only concern with Vampire Survivors is playing it on the Steam Deck because of the small screen size. I just don't know how
play it. People play it on the Steam Deck.
Because I'll play that on my PC. It was
made in 1985.
I mean, I'm kind of into that though. I'm kind of into that a little bit. Even though I also think it's ugly, I'm both turned off and on by it.
Wait,
it's the wet and dry of video games.
I mean, I'm watching a little video right now. You're just running away from things that are just slowly creeping.
Yeah, it's like a horde thing, and you have different powers. And I think it's how many try and kill as many people are addicted to this game. People adore this game.
Yeah.
Something that my sister has been playing because she was over here during the weekend. She is obsessed with Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen because she's obsessed with WandaVision.
Sure.
So she came to see.
Big Da Vinci Code fan then.
Oh yeah, Paul Bettany is that. He plays the guy, the
guy who whips himself.
Yeah. Big fan of the Da Vinci Code.
Talk about a guy with range.
Yeah, so he's got a play right now on Broadway.
Broadway.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he plays Andy Warhol. It's his
cool
play about Andy Warhol. So my sister is an artist, so she wanted to come see that. So she was in town and crashed and went to go see that. She is playing a game called
the sister that you didn't know was a famous streamer.
You're not a famous streamer. She just has a little bit of a following as a VTuber.
Did you ever ask her to have her people raid you? Be like, hey, can you help me out?
I don't know if it's also the thing is like again, she's like a VTuber, so like
sure.
You know what I mean? Like it's going from that to the I
think VTubering is awesome. If I could easily set up VTubing, I might actually stream because it's so fucking cool.
it is easy. I mean, you do it, you have the filter, like you do it.
It's not the same. It's not the same as like my buddy Brendan who did a VTuber show that I went on.
Yeah.
The one that was like Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Like that was fucking sick. Like they had this full 3D rig and everything, and they had like a second character that animated when they talked, and it was like it was fucking awesome. Like I want to be able to, like, I've seen their setup. It's not simple, but you're right. You could do like a cartoon filter.
Try Fate Saga in the chat. Tuna says, think Hades Light. That might wet your whistle.
Into Vampire Survivors?
Yeah.
Not even close. I'm watching it right now. It's just like
not even
talking
close.
about it.
Anyway, so I do have a cool
he
announcement.
Did say light.
I do have a cool announcement to make. We need to plan some stuff on our end. I've already asked about availability for it, but we're gonna do some Halo Forge maps. December 30th is what we've currently.
Did I talk about those last week?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think we said anything specifically, but by the time this episode comes out on Friday, hopefully we've locked things down. The day before, because I'm partly going to do again, details coming in, but from 3 p.m. on Friday to 3 p.m. on Saturday, December 31st. So it's the 30th of Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 31st Saturday. There will be an Extra Life event going on. We will be doing it for Giant Bomb. We will be on Giant Bomb's website, which is very sick.
Yeah.
And for the beginning of it, I am going to jump back into Final Fantasy XIV. I'm going to start the Heavensward expansion, and I'm going to be playing it with a popular Final Fantasy XIV streamer, Sarah Spooks.
Cool.
Who loves Final Fantasy XIV. And I hit her up and I was like, hey, I'm doing this charity thing. Like, would you be interested in playing? I'm jumping into Heavensward. She's like, that one's my favorite expansion. I can't get enough. And I said, I was like, I'm planning to play for like 9 hours. Like, you don't have to be there the whole time, but like, you know, this is the range. And she was
You're going to do like 9 hours of it?
9 hours straight.
Oh my god! I thought we were going to be doing like.
Well, we're going to be doing. So I'm doing that on the Friday, and then like Saturday we're going to be doing some.
Oh, okay.
Halo stuff is my plan.
9 hours Final Fantasy is a lot of
we're
fun.
Not doing Forge on the 30th.
31st, Saturday the 31st. We will figure it out, and it will be locked by the time that this episode drops. Hopefully, yeah. So. Look, follow the Discord. Look at me look at my Twitter because details will be coming out.
I'll finish Man Cannon for it.
Yep, get around to Man Cannon. I'm very excited to jump into some Forge mode.
I'd like to talk a little bit about Forge then, if you
Go
have
ahead. Yeah.
Well, first, official Tuna fan club Slater just said in the Discord. Vampire is Hades Light. Don't make me come over there. It also has hidden stuff like perfect dark cheat codes and Halo skulls. Slater, you're talking to me now. You are not talking to Tuna. You just said things that got me very excited about this game.
I don't know, man. I'm watching a video right now. It looks like somebody just going back and forth hitting some buttons.
Here's what I think it is, Alex. And I think it's probably just more that it's a roguelite. Again, you feel free to correct me. They're doing it. They're correcting us right now, apparently. But it reminds me a little bit also of just like the way in Dead Cells you can upgrade your weapons. I believe that is a thing in Vampire Survivor, and that's probably where the rogue or like Hades Light part comes.
Yeah, I get it. I'm
getting
watching
new powers and stuff. Yeah,
I mean, you're gonna. Is it on anything other than Steam?
It's on Game Pass on Xbox.
Oh, then I'll check it out then.
There we go. All right. Well, I guess we'll all be talking about Vampire Survivors next week, Tom.
Fuck it. I'll download it too. The people are obsessed with this game.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a go.
Now I'm gonna check it out on Game Pass, and if it's worth the $1, I'll buy it for my Steam Deck.
I love that.
I played some Halo Forge. It is, first of all, I when I say it's like easier to use, it's much easier to use. If you do it on the PC, you can use mouse keyboard. Definitely much better. But the tools and the like way you edit, it still took me like I had to fuck around with it for at least an hour.
That's always the thing with this stuff is like I'm always so anytime any builder thing comes out, I'm always so excited because I'm like, this speaks so much to my interests, like speaks so much to, and then I'm just like, oh, it's not doing what I want it to do.
Yeah,
Like,
it took me like an hour to get the controls down, but I got them. I got everything down. I still think like their default control scheme is really fucking weird. I think it's really bad, but I was able to map my controller to make it good. Although it's annoying because the second like I want to like leave or do something in the menu, use like regular controls, so then I have to like change, like hot swap my control. So it's a little finicky there, but I just refuse to learn their terrible control scheme for Forge. Well, so you move on 2 axes, right? So which is how you normally play a game, right? You have the one stick where you move the character, and you have the one stick that moves the camera. Or if you're Alex, you have a combination of those two because of legacy controls. However, Alex, as someone that does legacy controls, and Tom as someone that doesn't, if you had to then introduce 2 more buttons because you're floating, right? So you need to also introduce the ability to go up and down. What buttons would you want those to be?
Well, usually... usually they're mapped to the triggers. Something like that will be mapped to the triggers.
Wouldn't that be brilliant? They are not. They're mapped to the A and B button, which make it almost impossible to move because you use your thumb button. You use your thumb for the thumbstick, so you can't move the camera. So like they expect you to, I think, like move into place and then change your. So I moved my buttons around and I put the up and the down on my back triggers, which works great. But you could also put them on the top triggers. But I had to like really fuck with everything to make that happen, and it's not ideal is sort of the thing here because you kind of actually want the trigger buttons for moving the pieces because you kind of have to like grab and hold, and it's like good to be able to squeeze the triggers like you're grabbing something.
Yeah.
So you don't. So I think someone there was like, well, I guess we just put them here because everywhere else is awkward. And like, if I didn't have the controller with the back buttons, it would be a little bit awkward. But it's awesome the way you can make stuff now. These people are like prefabbing parts and stuff. I still don't even understand that. Like I saw people talking about like importing stuff from like Blender, like the stuff that you can do on like it's crazy what people can do. I found some great community maps. So people obviously often remake maps, but I don't know if I talked about this last week. If I did, I apologize. I think I meant to and I didn't. But 2 maps that I played recently were the Pit and Guardian, classic maps. But instead, because now you can make things look much more interesting and dynamic than you used to be able to, instead of them just trying to make them look like those maps, they stylized them and made them Art Deco. So the Guardian map, they made it look like it was from the game Monument Valley, Tom. And it looks so fucking cool because like they added, everything's like sort of Art Deco, but they made everything solid colors. Yeah. And the way the light refracts in that game with that, like it looks so fucking cool while you're there. And then on the other one, on the Pit, they used a similar method, but they didn't go with like the Deco motif. So with the Monument Valley motif, because it's not a floating, you're inside a structure. On the Guardian one, since it's sort of like almost like you're on a big platform, almost think like a Cloud City kind of a thing, they're able to make it look like a thing from Monument Valley. If you're looking at it from the side or from any of the edges, you can like see out to the whole thing. And it's this like weird geometric structure. It looks really fucking cool. There are a lot. People are very big fans of the sort of Army Men, Sarge's Heroes motif. There are a lot of like, you're playing in Andy's room from Toy Story. You're just playing in like a gaming room. You're playing in a bar, but they're so good now. And people are like scripting things. Like there are these puzzle games that it's pretty fucking unbelievable. Fortnite new creative mode has a lot of really similar tools. It's actually even more advanced than Halo Forge. This is like the future of games, I think. I think we're going to continue to get these like big expansive games, but I think the future of these sort of like games as a service games are going to be all about like community made shit as the tools get better. Because I think we're what do you think, 3 years at most away from a AI procedural generated polygonal like, because so we have all the AI generated art right now, right? And there's new ones where you can now generate videos and geometry and textures. So I don't know how long it's going to be until a video game comes out where you can type in a prompt and get a prop and place it on your map and get like a setting and get like textures. I think we're going to have a game soon. It'll probably be like a Fortnite or something that'll do it, where people are making full fucking games and just generating things by typing them in.
Do you guys remember Scribblenauts?
Dude, I loved Scribblenauts.
That
and you're
was-
right. That is kind of like what it is.
That was what it was. It was like
Yeah.
you could write anything and it would put it in the game.
Except people had to actually just like painstakingly come up
No,
with
of
ways
course,
to
they
like
had to
make
like craft everything. Yeah.
make all of the it's pretty incredible. There's a lot of weird stuff around the AI art that I think like they really need to figure out, but like ultimately like this is something that's not going to be able to be stopped. It is sort of the future.
No,
Like
it is
and it's also not necessarily
inevitable.
bad, but it is kind of scary. It is kind of scary.
Yeah.
It does freak me out a little bit. But yeah,
I mean, it's that thing of like, I think about it, I'm like, well, they'll never make an AI that can edit a video, and then I'm like, I'm seeing some shit, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, where,
Yeah,
like
no,
20
that's-
years time. I'm not gonna
20 years is probably too long, I think, Tom.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I know.
honestly, we could very realistically like be in a situation where in a decade from now you're like, I wish I got to see an episode of Pokemon where this happened, and like fucking you just type it in and boom, it's in front of you. You know, like you're just watching something that didn't exist until you're like, I wish I could have seen a Star Wars movie that like this happened at the end, and it's just like, oh, you have a whole Star Wars movie. Like that's possible. Like those things won't happen because obviously the one person, the one thing that'll get protected by rights is going to be
IP.
IP. Right. So
Yeah.
businesses will be protected, people won't. But that's just how things go. But man, it's crazy. It's crazy. And what you can make in this new Forge and Fortnite. Have you looked at Fortnite?
Well, so I've been playing it now. The new season's out, and then they dropped the characters from My Hero, and they have a team deathmatch mode in it, which is the training gym from the show.
Oh,
that was built in Fortnite Creative, by like an indie studio or something, like built the gym, and yeah, so that's in there, and that's a mode you can do. Yeah, it's a mode you can do now.
I gotta go do that. Is Midoriya still for sale? I really want to buy him.
Yeah.
All right, there goes like $20 or something stupid.
They sell. I was fortunate enough to have like the credits. Like I bought credits, and then you can claim them through the season, like part of the battle pass. And last season, I just spent, because the way it does is it's in batches. So it's like when you're level 1 on the battle pass, you can pick from any of these items and pick and choose, and you have like a currency that you get as you progress to buy stuff. So I just bought like a bunch of credits that way, like through playing. So I have I just have All Might. So All Might is like his own thing, and then you can get Uraraka, Midoriya, and Bakugo as like a pack of 3, and then they can also be bought individually as well.
Honestly, I'm surprised. Like, good on them. In the past, I feel like you wouldn't have Uraraka. You'd have Todoroki. You know, like just typically with games like you don't get Ochako, you don't get the girl character. Like that's how it's always been. Even very recently, like you know, like even like fucking Star Wars came out. It's like, how come we don't have Rey's lightsaber yet? We got like these fucking side characters. It's like a dude like has toys, and like there's like one toy for like what's going on.
I wonder if that you know Todoroki is like a big enough one that they can just drop him.
Yeah,
because like
I mean, arguably the big
Vader
3 in that
as
series
well,
are
crazy.
Bakugo,
like Luke, like Luke Skywalker and Han Solo were like not available. Like you couldn't get those skins until like this year, which is so weird. So there were like a ton of Star Wars characters that they had saved. So you know, get Endeavor in there. Oh, we have started. We got to get into news and stuff, but we have started this season of My Hero.
Both you and Alex.
Cow, not holding back, huh? Like
no. I'm curious because you sent a weird message, Alex, yesterday in the group asking what episode My Hero starts at. He's just playing Vampire Survivors. He's not.
So interesting. Vampire Survivors is an interesting game. You're not actually pressing any buttons to fire your weapons. You're just like moving around, and your weapons are firing for you.
Interesting.
In intervals, and you're just moving around. Every time you level up, you get a new weapon. I thought it was stupid, but already I'm kind of like,
I wonder. This game should run pretty well on the Switch. Maybe I'll get this on the Switch, and I don't need to bring my Steam Deck.
Yeah,
that's probably what I'll do.
It's
great.
Anyway, yeah. So the reason why I asked about My Hero Academia episode starting is because the last time I watched it, I remembered something happening, and it was on Funimation, and I didn't remember like what. I don't remember what episode number I was on. I don't remember if it was the end of a season, end of a mid-season. I don't like. I was so then when I booted up,
I see. So you weren't sure if you finished season 5, and you didn't want to start the new season.
And I didn't finish season 5.
Got
the
it.
problem. The
Okay.
last episode I had seen was, what is the Decay Quirks guy's name? The main villain,
Shigaraki.
Shigaraki.
Yeah, Shigaraki or Rachi. Origin was the last one I saw, which is actually kind of
you
like
got a couple of episodes left.
It's kind of the couple epilogue, which is why when I started season 6, I was like, I don't remember this at all. Like, what the fuck? So then
Sure,
I went
that makes
back
sense.
and then I went back and I was like, wait, this doesn't. Nope. I went back again. I was like, nope. Like I don't know where I am.
Got it. Because I didn't understand, because you're watching on Crunchyroll now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't think Funimation still worked. So when you sent that message, I was like, oh, it does? I was so confused by that message. I was like, why does he just go to season 6, episode 1? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you scrolling through 100 episodes? It's fine.
Yeah, you'd think.
It's So I've been watching the subs because I was waiting for the dubs to come out, and then you guys hadn't started it yet. But now that you're both watching it, I'm gonna just take a break for a few weeks because the dubs are only, I think, 3 weeks behind. So I'm just gonna not watch it for the next 3 weeks till it's caught up, so that I can watch it with you boys.
Did either of you watch a show called 1899 on Netflix?
No, we talked about it during the.
So you haven't. I guess what I was asking.
This is the Dark follow-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked
asking
about this extensively.
No. I was just going to ask if you had started it. That's all.
No.
I wasn't going to go into it. I just wanted to know if you started it because I was
not yet.
Because it reminded me of the dub sub.
Yeah.
Conversation
Conundrum.
that I said that this was one show, even though I thought the dubs on Dark was very good. This is one show I actually really like the subs because they speak in different languages in the show itself. Not just German, not just English, not just Japanese. It's very good.
Which, by the way, browsing TikTok, I think it sent this TikTok too. It turns out in Japan, there's an equivalent argument as to whether or not you should watch the dubs versus the subs, specifically with King of the Hill. And there are diehard fans in Japan of King of the Hill who are like, no, you have to watch the subs. You need the original, and like that is so fucking funny to me. That is the thing that is happening. Because it's fucking King of the Hill where everyone talks like nothing.
I know,
like,
but didn't we also talk about how dubs versus subs in a cartoon / anime
kind of doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It only matters kind of. It's like only as of recent, because as of recent, American companies have like gotten good talent and given a shit. Whereas in the past, it was garbage. So I understood why they felt that way. But in terms
of like a live action, you lose a lot when you watch.
That's going away. That's going away, man.
What do you mean?
This is so. I will say the one thing, and this is such a specific weird thing, but the one thing I'm most excited for with all this AI fucking scary shit that's happening. And I saw there was a demo of it. I'll try and find it. There's a YouTube video. I don't know how long ago it was, but a company is using AI to do lips so that you could take a movie or a TV show that was filmed in a different language, and then you take the dub and it will make the lips match the dub as if the person spoke the correct language. And it's fucking, when that is perfected, that is going to be unbelievable.
But you also need, the thing that I was saying, like, even with the dubs, is that it's obviously in a studio, and you lose a lot of like the the moment acting that the performers like did. Like I feel like there were some parts of the show that like the dub, like we were watching the dub in the beginning, and like they're supposed to be out of breath, or they're supposed to be under duress, or they're supposed
out of breath. You can't fake it, man.
It's not that great.
It's true, but here's the thing: a lot of audio that we watch is not the recorded audio.
That is also true.
But it's not, when the companies get to dub it, they don't get the full tracks. They just get like the new track, and so they have to like. A lot of times they're working with like dirty footage. They're not working with clean audio and clean footage. So they actually have to pull shit out. So when you get the dub, you lose stuff You're actually losing things. But if they did it right, if there was a process in the future where they know we can have someone else record lines and it will make it match perfectly, then they can build a pipeline to resolve that. But you're right. Like it is, you're not just losing the correct intonation. You're not just losing like good acting, but you're also losing like sometimes this fucking soundtrack like lowers during dubs and stuff. Like
it's sometimes in some points you're just like
for sure. Absolutely. And it's partially also because the recording equipment is different, so it's just like, oh, well, this film and all the sounds were recorded using this gear. We're going to use this gear. How often do they
have to re-record audio in like
a lot of movies? Probably the majority of the audio is redubbed.
Yeah.
Is redubbed, so they have to get the actors back in the studio.
A lot of TV too.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So like Lost specifically, right? It's all of the shit that's filmed on the beach and outside. How good do you think their audio quality is on the fucking beach? There's a great well-known scene. I just saw it because I've been rewatching it where Jack reads a line, and I guess on the original script it said Hurley, but they changed the scene and he says goodbye to Charlie. So like he's talking to Charlie, but when he obviously was doing the dub later, it had the original script and he didn't remember, so he read the original line. So he calls him Hurley and like as he's walking away. And it's very obvious that he's talking to Charlie, but no one caught it at the time.
Wait, so I feel like that's got to be hard. No? So you have to redo your audio?
The harder part is the Foley work. The Foley artists don't get enough credit. They're the ones that like you're watching someone walk and like none of those footsteps are real. None of that was captured. That was all fake. Like all the sounds you hear are fucking fake. Like it's a full art unto itself. It's kind of amazing. I love watching Foley artists on YouTube. What they do is so fucking cool. Yeah. So I think we can move on.
I think we can as well.
But sorry, we got a lot of conversation this episode.
Ridiculous. I thought it was gonna be a quickie.
All right, let's pull it through news, Tom.
Good.
I don't have the sound for it, so just go.
Good news is that the news is short. Because really the only thing that's happened, because again we're recording early. We haven't mentioned that for audio recorders or video recorders not catching live, but we are recording on a Tuesday. So if on Thursday Bobby Kotick explodes, that hasn't happened yet. All right, for us. But we did get from Game Informer, who interviewed Stig Asmussen, who is the head of Respawn Entertainment. Also, I think he's the lead on Survivor.
Holy shit! I just found treasure.
There you go. See, Tuna's into it. He loves it now. So there's a ton of new details on Jedi Survivor. One of the big features now is that there are stances for lightsabers. So you have to pick the best stance for whatever situation you're in. This is not original to Survivor, but the last major game that implemented something like this was Ghost of Tsushima. You had 4 stances, and depending on what weapon you were facing off against, use a different stance, and that was a lot of fun, switching in and out.
Yeah, so you're gonna have different play styles.
Yeah,
that's pretty dope.
It says there are a total of 5 lightsaber stances, including a dual blade stance and one where Cal wields both a lightsaber and a blaster. A heavy and slow style uses the crossguard lightsaber that Kylo Ren has. These new stances will let you hit harder or from further away, but whether you should use them depends on the enemies. So you can wield a blaster in this as well. So you will have you can wield a lightsaber and a blaster. I don't know if we've ever seen that. Have we ever seen that in Star Wars before?
What we've seen, the closest thing to that would be Ezra in the first season of...
Didn't he have a gun with a lightsaber?
Yeah, Alex, in the first season of Star Wars Rebels, the kid who's like a Padawan, his lightsaber, which is it's like a training, it's like my first lightsaber. It has a gun blaster built into it, so he can shoot out of it. Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually. It's actually pretty cool.
Why isn't that in?
I don't know, man.
Sweet.
I don't know. I feel like every fucking lightsaber, and it's pretty much like a stun only blaster too, which is well, that'd be great. You're in a lightsaber fight, fucking lock blades, you just pew, fucking just stun their ass.
I like it.
The game will be Jedi Survivor will also be much bigger. There'll be more Metroidvania aspects to it than there were in not Force Awakens, Fallen Order.
I don't know how much I need that, but okay.
Yeah, we'll see about that. You can tame and ride mounts.
We'll see about that.
You can tame and ride mounts, which we did see in the trailer.
Cool.
And you do have an AI partner at times called Bode Acuna, who is a mercenary. He's a friend of Cal Kestis.
I kind of wish it was Babu Frick.
Yeah, can you imagine?
So
no, this is like a Han Solo looking guy. We do see him in the trailer. We do see they do like a partner move where he like kind of like jumps off your back and stuff.
Oh, he's got a rogue. He's got a rogue with him.
So yeah, exactly. So that game is coming out in March, and that's very exciting.
I'm pumped. I'm pumped for my BD boy. I got my BD Lego, so big fan. I really like the first game. I'm very excited for the new one. Visually, it looks kind of like amazing, and the last game was so close to delivering on the visuals, but like you could tell it's just held back so much by the hardware. So I'm very excited to be able to play it on the new consoles. That's awesome. Anything else?
Well, you wanted to talk about the big news. Ash Ketchum.
Oh my God. All right. So yeah. So as we know, although it hasn't aired in America yet, it's coming now. The dubbed version, the final arc of Ash Ketchum is airing, where we already told this. Sorry, spoilers. He will win and become the greatest there ever was. He wants to be the best that there ever was, and he will. He will win the ultimate Pokemon League champions. Now, Ash already won the Alola League, so he's gotten towards, every time a new gen came out, he would get closer and closer. He did very good. It's not like he was fucking getting knocked out in round one, He's already a champion, and then this was the Masters tournament, so he's going up against all the other champions. He's ranked 8th in the world when this starts, and when it ends, he will be number 1. And the Pokemon company has decided that it means it's time to retire Ash Ketchum.
They'll bring him back. He'll be like the guy to beat in the next season's arc or something.
Well, I hope they follow the thread with Red, because Red, one of the coolest things about Gold and Silver, after you beat the Pokemon League, you can go to Kanto and fight all the Kanto gyms, and they're all super strong from the original game. And then after you beat those, the final boss is facing Red, which is basically the Ash equivalent. And he has his Pikachu. He has like all the starters fully evolved, and he's like on top of the mountain. It's pretty fucking cool. I'm kind of hoping they do something like that with him. However, there are fan rumors, and I'm very excited about them, because people looked at the new protagonist, and the girl in the front conspicuously had some similarities to Ash Ketchum, and we're all kind of hoping, could this be
a time jump
with the daughter of Ash Ketchum, because her name is also very similar to the name of the voice actress for Ash. Her name is Riku, I think, and Rika, it was the voice actor. So everyone's kind of like, oh, is this kind of like, I could actually have those names slightly wrong, but it's something like that. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm kind of hoping.
So where's Gary? Is Gary in the show anymore?
So Gary, after I think the second league, Alex, he decided that he realized being a Pokemon master was not like the thing that he was meant to do. So he wanted to become. He wanted to become a pro. So
where's Misty?
Where's Brock and Misty? What's going on with those two?
So I'll tell you right now. So Gary basically is following in the footsteps. He's becoming the new professor. He's what I'm hoping is in the future. I'm hoping we see Ash's daughter go to the new Professor Oak, who would be Professor Gary Oak. That is what I'm hoping we see.
Wow.
And that Ash is her dad. That is what I'm hoping we see. Might not be the case. My guess is he's not going to fully go away. Just because, let's say the show doesn't do well, he's coming back. The craziest thing about it really to me is they said they're retiring Ash and Pikachu, and to retire Pikachu is just it's crazy. It's crazy. No, I'm like from a business decision point.
This is why they've been beefing up Eevee all these years, man. They're like, we need.
But Eevee's not on that in the preview image. And also, if you're gonna do that, it's been fucking like 3 gens, no new Eevee evolutions. What's going on? Where we?
I know.
We don't even have half the types.
I cannot believe that there's no evolution.
We don't even have half the types. Like, what are we doing? So I don't know.
There's a lot of bureaucracy there. They can't decide on the perfect dragon.
I wonder why
form.
though. It just doesn't. I just don't understand.
I think that there's a level of like people who might believe some of the original Gen 1 stuff, like Ash, Pikachu, Eevee, it's like it's too attached to the, and so like younger kids want something that feels theirs, because there probably are young kids today that are like, oh, this is the show my dad watched, or like, and so they kind of want their own thing. So I bet there are people that are working on the game that are like, oh, I don't want to keep just making the thing that I grew up playing or watching. I want to make my own things. So that's why they're like, we're not doing Eevee anymore. We're not doing this anymore. We're not. But we'll see. Because if it's not popular, all those things are coming right the fuck back. You know, like we're talking about the most valuable franchise in the world.
I can't believe they're
It's
taking more of a
Pokemon,
chance
though.
on fucking anime than they are in the fucking games.
Yeah,
Different people run those departments.
we will see, but it's Pokemon. I don't think, and I think people will be excited about it.
Yeah,
and I think what you're saying makes total sense. Like you still have Ash. Pikachu is still there. It still is. Well.
Plus, if he's the best, like let him be the champ.
What's the age situation?
It's really hard to tell how long Pokemon live, man.
Yeah,
it seems like they could live as long as they want.
Have Pikachu's is going to be grumpy. Old
Maybe
Pikachu.
Maybe he's a Raichu. Can you imagine?
Oh my god, he evolved him. He was like,
they would never do that. You would never do that. But I also thought they would never retire him. So
yeah,
honestly, like this to me, it always felt like if they were going to do something like this, where it's like maybe this will be a show that is only on for 3 years, and then we get 3 new protagonists, right? So they could do more interesting stories that like take place during that generation, and like the person can win the tour. You could do a more straightforward kind of shonen, and you can get more interesting with the stories because they don't have to stay around forever. But like my guess is that's not going to be the case because you want these like massive characters that are just going to print money. So it's hard to know what the hell the plan is.
Was the same voice actor for Ash throughout the entire...
She's been the same voice actor, I think, for
25 years.
No. She changed. They changed voice actors at one point. I think it was like after the Orange Islands or the Johto League, but it was. There
was an interview with her. Apparently, like
she's been there for way longer than anyone. Yeah, like so. It's very cool.
Wasn't like I'm talking like the Japanese or the English or both.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the answer to that. Yeah.
All right.
The English one, I'm pretty sure hasn't been there the whole time. I'm pretty sure the voice changed on hers, but I could also be wrong about that. Maybe it's the Japanese one. I could have sworn that the voice changed at one point though, early on, but it's crazy. End of an era. It's unbelievable. Never would have thought it would happen, but I'm glad they let him win. And at this point, he's done everything, right? He's seen like every legendary. He's caught legendaries. Like he's traveled through time. He saved universes. Like
traveled through time.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, there's a very good fan theory that someone he met in the past is actually his dad, because it's the only other time in the franchise that his dad was actually mentioned was during that movie. And there's a very there's a very good similarity between this young boy that Ash was like adventuring with in the past and Ash. So there's a theory that he is actually Ash's dad. And there are 12 episodes coming.
All he's got left to do is master espresso making now.
Yeah. Well, there's 12 episodes coming, Tom. 12 episodes to celebrate the end of Ash and to show what's going to be happening with him in the future. By the way, we already saw a preview of Ash with his Butterfree that he let free. So I'm very excited about that. So it is possible we'll see Ash's dad. It's possible we'll see a flash forward in the future.
No, there are no adult males in the Pokemon universe.
Yeah, that certainly seems to be the case, except for the professors.
Yeah,
it's just the professors.
They got all the poont.
The fucking oh my god!
Bringing it back, baby.
Jesus. All right, let's do some quick mail.
Quick mail never fails. Tuna's still playing Vampire Survivor.
Yeah, time to close up. We're doing mail.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. But mail
really, I'm surprised. All these people are saying it's game of the year and.
Game. I don't know about game of the. Oh, let's relax.
Slater took a screenshot of Alex just completely zoned out on the podcast, just watching, just playing fucking.
Yeah, Slater's doing the advertising work for us to get people to jump in and pay money to view Tuna just in the bottom corner of his frame, looking off to the left. You should start streaming, and that's all you do. You don't introduce anything. You don't chat with anyone. You just
from the side
corner. Yeah. All right, mail.
All right, so if you want to send us a voicemail, which is my favorite, I love when people do this. It's 805-738-8692. Tell us about your holidays. Tell us about games you're playing. Ask us questions. They can be nonsense. They could be whatever. You got a complaint. Just call in. Don't make me read words. Let's hear your voice. 805-738-8692. The number is in the show notes. Leave a voicemail. Here we go. Got one.
Hey there, Green Crew. Okay, Red here. I just call in today. I think that you guys should do the PowerPoint review thing you guys did before again. Purely from I did one before, but I submitted it late, so I just want you to do it standpoint. But other than that, I think that would be awesome, and it was really fun when you guys did it last time, so keep it in mind. All right, stand right, suck it.
I mean, I agree. That was a lot of fun.
I'm into that.
I think we should do it. Maybe we can do it in January. We've got to schedule with Dan to make that happen, but I think we should do it. All right.
That's my agreement then.
This came from Michael H. I've got to ask this somewhere. People don't know me. I was hoping the Unranked crew might help.
Okay.
What are your feelings on bidets? We recently acquired one on behest of my wife, as apprehensive as I may have been, I cannot lie, and this is in all caps, it feels fresh. I'm already, I don't know why already is in caps, already considering up, you probably just forgot to turn it off, considering upgrading to the expensive Tushy so that I can have a warm spray because, man, that cold water is a rush. Suck it, gentlemen. Likes his caps.
So I've always wondered what it would be like to get a little bidet up the old fanny. But I've never used one ever. So I don't know. I always just think it's too weird. I
you know it doesn't like it. You know it doesn't like go up, right?
Yeah, there's
like,
no penetration.
You're not getting anally penetrated.
It's not like a prostate exam. He's laughing so much just thinking about it. It made him like uncomfortable just to answer that question.
Like it's not an irrigation. This is like an enema machine. It's not a homemade enema machine. New episode title: Tuna Luds. What a bidet is.
Oh God. Yes, I'm aware it's not a super soaker up.
No, he's bidet. He's bidet curious though. He's not anti bidet.
Bidet curious.
He's not an anti bidet type.
It's
right.
Not getting a super soaker.
I get it, but it's
how hard would the like say there's no gapage. Okay.
Sorry. Wait. What word was that?
Gapage?
Like say you're just all right. You're bent over, right? But
you're not just sitting.
No, this is
whatever's in whatever position.
I'm picturing the carnival game where you have the sprayer and you're spraying into the clown's mouth, right? Instead, you're just spraying into my ass.
Which is funny because, by the way, I made a Game or No Game with that concept. Like, I bet it's on my phone still, and sold you that exact concept like years ago. Okay, 2.5 years ago. Eat, split, and cry.
Why do you have it at the ready?
Oh no, it's called because I just searched in my notes for bidet, and then I have an old note from March 26, 2020, just start of the pandemic.
This is the beginning of the pandemic.
The name was called Stream Clean, where it's basically just what you described, Alex, where you are an operator of a bidet and you have to shoot at people's buttholes.
That's pretty good, actually. Now, what I was going to ask is, say there's no, like, you're not parting anything. Maybe maybe you're parting the cheeks to give it clear access, but there's no, like, bullying. What
I have some real concerns about what you're saying.
What pressure of water? How much pressure?
Yep.
Would there need to be from a penetration?
Oh, to penetrate?
I think it probably has more to do with the stream, Tom. It doesn't come out in a straight line.
But I'm not even talking necessarily like a bidet. I'm talking like if I'm shooting water at an asshole.
Yeah, you probably got to relax it, right? You got to relax your.
From, let's say,
I think you're in. I think you're in no problem. I think you're in no problem.
Unless you're puckering up. You're puckering up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's normal puckerage.
Here's what I'm going to go. I'm going to say it's more than a water fountain at a school, less than a very powerful super soaker.
Like if you took
And
a
you're getting in
power
there.
washer to the ass.
Oh,
that would
are
be
fucked.
you might die.
You are fucked.
Because a lot of
Literally.
people will actually fuck around with power washers. By the way, don't do it in sandals. People get crush syndrome all the time because they accidentally put their
What's
hit
crush
their
syndrome?
What the hell is
crush syndrome. So it's why Boone died on Lost, because basically it crushes all the capillaries and everything in your body. So like below, so like let's say the stream hit your foot, right? Everything below that isn't getting any more, blood circulation. And then your body like treats it if it's dead. It goes into like, I don't know what the exact term is, so kind of pulling this out of my ass. I don't, I'm trying to remember the explanation. But basically, if you hit your foot or body part while using a pressure washer, you should go to the hospital because you might lose that limb.
Okay.
Or possibly die if you don't have it treated.
All right.
And people don't realize that because it might not seem like a problem, and then actually it ends up being like a dire situation. So you don't want to hit any part of your body with a pressure washer, especially one that's like centralized and fragile. You would probably die if you got pressure washed in the ass.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like a little bit less than a super soaker. Probably is getting in.
Well, so I can answer this question. I have a bidet. We got one.
I thought you were going to say I've shot water up my ass.
You said it's a penetration.
I can answer. I can
as
answer
a
this
PSI
question.
meter.
I've had water in my asshole.
Yes. We do Enema Thursdays here at the house. We do Foot Peel Fridays, Enema Thursdays at the house.
He's got the equivalent of the espresso. Like he went as into the bidet as he's going to go into the espresso. And if you combine the two, that's why he needs the bidet. He got the bidet because he knew he was going to be drinking espresso all the time.
Does espresso make you use the bathroom?
Coffee is a diuretic.
Coffee is a diuretic, yeah.
Yeah, but diuretics make you pee. They don't make you shit. Laxatives make you shit.
Is that true?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that people equate. So I'm pretty sure what happens, Tom, is that people equate coffee and espresso with this other effect. There's a different effect where when you first get food into your body, it causes your body to start up and then need to use the bathroom.
Oh, a diuretic.
And so I think people.
Holy shit! Diuretic has zero to do with diarrhea.
There it is.
Wow, I had no idea. Oh my god, this is mind blowing.
Tom, my life is a lie.
I thought it was the word diarrhea and an edic at the end, but it's. Oh no, hang on. Oh, there are two. There's diuretic, which is DIU, and that is exactly what you're talking about, something that causes peeing. But then there is the word diuretic, which is what I'm talking about, which is something that causes diarrhea. So
I think all I know is that when coffee hits my lips in the morning, without fail, within 5 minutes, I got to take a shit.
Does coffee make you shit? Anyway, let's move on to the
pretty
next
sure
thing.
that is called the gastrocolic reflex. So that your body basically gets trained when the
coffee can stimulate colonic activity, triggering some people to have a bowel movement after drinking coffee.
So I don't know. I've never had that from coffee, but I get that from food. Like I don't need to use the bathroom until I eat, and once I eat, I need to use the bathroom. So like sometimes if I'm like going out, because I got to tell you, having a bidet at home ruin. I mean, first of all, doing number 2 anywhere but home already a problem. Not ideal.
Oh my god.
Not ideal. Try to avoid it at all costs. It was
much.
You know what? When I was at G4, not bad because they had the private bathrooms. Yes. They had the private bathrooms and they were like isolated. They were very far away from everyone. There was no one within like 100 feet of them. And they were single use. They were big. They had loud fans. So that was good. But otherwise,
beautiful.
You don't want a number 2 anywhere else. But I got to tell you, whenever I travel now, my life has been ruined by 2 things. The bidet.
Lack of a bidet. Right.
Lack of the bidet and lack of the bed jet. I can no longer poop or sleep anywhere but home.
No.
They've both been ruined for me. Bidet's great. Highly recommend it. We got it early in the pandemic because of the whole toilet paper situation. Remember when that was low? We literally were having trouble finding toilet paper. It's like, I'm getting a phone bidet. Like, I don't know.
Wash it. Did you air dry?
You still use some because you don't want a wet butt. But right. I got to tell you, once you use the bidet and you stand up with an actual clean butt, you're like, oh no, I've just been walking around with a dirty ass my whole life. Because there truly is a different feeling, and it's It's really unfortunate when you learn that.
Tuna's-
It's unfortunate when you learn it.
Back to
I got one more
Vampire
quick question.
Okay, go for it. Hit me.
You know what? Let's just save it.
Okay.
Oh no, it's a holiday question.
Mm.
I'm just gonna. They want to know where Advance Wars is. I don't know where Advance Wars is.
How is that a holiday question?
But also, what are you getting? Also, what are you getting or hoping to get for the holidays?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
What do they mean?
What did I
where
put on
Advance
my
Wars
my
is?
my mom always is like, "What's on your list?" And I'm like, "Okay, so let me pull it up because I did send her some stuff."
Oh my god, that's right. This was supposed to come out like a year ago.
What? Oh
Advance
no,
Wars Reboot Camp.
Yeah, it was meant to come out in like April. It was because the Ukraine.
And it's still not. They don't even have a date.
They don't have a date.
I'm sorry, but it's like a cartoon. What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. So I asked. The thing that's on my list was a Theragun.
Oh, okay, yeah, Theragun's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Theragun's great.
I give a couple of like top level options. AirPods Pro 2 because mine have been through the wash too many times that like I can't do it. They're fine if I have active listening and not either noise canceling or transparency mode off. If I have those off, they're fine. But if I want to use either of those and I use the transparency mode a ton, there's like a crackling in the background and it's really annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's useless at that point.
And then I said like some Warhammer stuff if you're really feeling it. So there you go.
I honestly, it's a little anticlimactic because we aren't gonna get each other stuff. We're doing but I'm very excited to get the espresso stuff.
No, yeah.
There are a number of accoutrements beyond just the espresso maker and the grinder. There's a bunch of like fun things, but yeah, that's basically it. I'm sure from family, like I'll get gift cards and stuff, which is nice. I am very excited for the gifts I got people because I have so many nieces and nephews now that I like really splurged on my two nieces and I got them this like expensive magnetic block set and I got them both like the Mac Daddy set that has like 130 blocks. So it's like they can like actually like build the shit that you see on these. It's like kind of expensive, but it was like, well, I'm gonna spoil my nieces. Why not? It's fun. So I'm excited for that. Tuna?
I'm not really getting anything. Everyone's now getting my kid stuff instead of me stuff. So
you sound mad about it.
No, whatever.
This is definitely part of why
my mom, I think, is still going to get me some puzzles.
Oh, nice.
So she knows that website I like, puzzles.ca.
Nice.
Puzzlemaster.ca, is it? I don't know.
They really make good puzzles up in Canada.
Yeah, so she'll give me some of those, and apparently she might be giving me a Roman coin.
Oh, right. Was that on the podcast when that came up, or was that somewhere else?
It might have.
That might have just been, I think, when we were playing. Because Alex and I played some Fall Guys with Dan. I think it might have been during that.
It might have been during
when
that.
we were talking.
Tom. Basically, what happened was, so my mom's over. She comes over to watch the baby. And right before I go downstairs to work, she goes, "Did you know that like Roman coins are really cheap?" And I'm like, out of nowhere. And I'm like, "Yeah, I knew. Yeah, I know. And she goes, "Yeah, like they're like I didn't realize that you would think something like 2,000 years old would be really expensive." And I go, "Yeah, well, like the ones from like the beginning empire, and if you can find ones from the Republic, they're actually worth a lot of money. But like the ones from the 2nd, 3rd century are not really worth a lot of money because there's a lot of emperors during that time and they're minting coins like crazy. So there's tons of coins. There's millions of coins. So these are not rare." And like as soon as I like, mom was like, "Oh yeah, huh." My mom's
like, you're like, they're junk. Anyone can get them. People just threw them in the same street people shit and pissed on back then.
So then So then I was just like, yeah. And then I closed the door to the basement and walked out here thinking like she was totally looking, obviously,
for
Christmas stocking stuffers. So
stocking stuffers.
That's all I get now are stocking stuffers. Kids gotten my gifts now.
You just gotta hope you gotta get your kid into video games then.
We didn't even get her
help,
anything.
Help yourself out, Alex. Get her into video games.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Does she want a PSVR 2 that's coming out?
Heyo.
Or a Steam Deck.
Steam Deck.
Yeah, get her a
Clearly.
Steam Deck.
Clearly, the kid
Yeah.
wants a Steam Deck.
All right. Well, I had a game, but we're kind of tight on time. So let's close up. We'll do a post show, and then we can play the game during part of this post show.
I've never heard you do this in my life.
Well,
but
we're already at like around 2 hours now.
all right,
you know.
go ahead. Yeah, it's fine.
So, Tom, you have anything else to add? Toonie, you have any
that's
complaints?
it. That's it.
No complaints.
Just get to me. Just let us know. Let us know how much pressure it's required to penetrate an asshole. Water pressure.
Wait, Tom, when you said spread your cheeks so it could clean in there, like it makes me worried that you're like, do you have to spread your cheeks when you shit? Because I'm telling you right now, your shit takes up more volume than the water does.
I was trying to set the parameters for how much pressure it would take to open up a hole.
Well, you can open up our show notes. Everything's in there. Until next time, stay unranked, everybody.
Suck it.